Quiet table. Well, hey guys, Shawn C. Phillips and MJ Kelly here, and finally, after months upon months upon months upon months, we're back with a new Q&A, is that right? And this may take hours upon hours to get through. We have over 200, and after we go through those, we have to refresh and see how many more we have by then. But this is part one of who knows how many parts, right?
Yeah.
Right. What day is this today? It's October
16th.
16th, yes. Now the first question we have is from Minjin Corp.
Minjin Corp.
And the question is, what's your favorite video game?
It's not easy for me to say. I have a few. One is Super Bomberman for the Super Nintendo.
Oh, before we say anything, let's say one thing though. We're covering ourselves up so we can't see ourselves. So we look like we're looking at nothing. We're looking at the questions.
Yeah.
So that's in case you're wondering.
Right.
Well, you can continue.
Yeah. Well, mine, Super Bomberman. More recent one I think is Resident Evil 4. Especially, it's only worthwhile when you have the 4 ultimate weapons: the Chicago typewriter, the infinite rocket launcher, the Plagueis removal laser, and the hand cannon. If any of you know Resident Evil 4, if you don't, you're like, what's he talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
And more recently, Kingdom Hearts. Love those games, especially the second one.
I guess for me, I like the older things. I don't play a lot of new games.
Yes, the two of the new ones I mentioned were some of the only newer games I like.
So I'd say Sonic and
Mario
Brothers. It's the classic
Pac-Man.
stuff. The thing is, video games are fine and all, but I don't know. I don't have especially when you have a job and stuff. You don't have a lot of time. Free time always, and if you have free time, I like spending it watching movies.
Yeah, I'm more of the game guy.
What's your favorite shot-on-video movie? I would say Witcher Massacre and Video Violence. What would you say?
Shot on video. Probably. I don't really know any others. And plus, I knew a few that I didn't like, so yeah, those would be my favorites.
Which ones didn't you like?
Well, I didn't like them, so I didn't bother to remember them, so that shows you.
Okay. 3. Do you like Blair Witch Project? I hated it. What about you?
It really bothered. Honestly, nothing against you personally. I really bothers me when people are like, I didn't like Blair Witch. I don't get what there's not to like. It was amazing.
I think some people think, when they first were going to see it, they thought it was going to be more like a Hollywood kind of film. You know what I mean?
Like a traditional movie.
More like what the second one was, and they didn't think it was just going to be a camcorder video. You know what I mean? But the thing is,
in a way, it's scarier that way.
Technically, it's the first one of those too. You know what I mean? Because
it is, yeah.
Like Paranormal Activity. Well, Cannibal Holocaust was the first, but the thing is, that was more like a scripted movie. That was actually done with actual camera angles. Yeah. Blair Witch was one of the first actually done with a camcorder, just one thing throughout the whole thing.
I know, and some people didn't get it. They're like, it wasn't scary. You didn't see anything. Well, that's part of what makes it scarier. Is that, your imagination fills it in, if you even have one, for one thing. And when you watch it, you're thinking, what's going on? What could this be? That's what keeps it really scary. So, honestly, I loved it.
And the next one is, what's your favorite TV movie? And this is all from the same guy. He asked a lot of questions.
Yeah.
For TV movie, I'd say Bad Ronald.
TV movie.
Because Bad Ronald was a TV movie.
I can't think of any.
There aren't a lot of TV movies anymore. The Stephen King movies were TV movies. A lot of them. The Langoliers and stuff. That was good. What's your favorite straight-to-video or straight-to-DVD movie?
Straight-to-video, straight-to... Well, I can think of one TV movie, the only one that came to mind that I actually remember that I liked.
What was that?
High School Musical 1. Apparently that was a TV movie. What? I knew you were going to give me that stupid judgmental face.
I'm not saying anything.
It's not a bad movie.
Okay. What's your favorite straight-to-video or straight-to-DVD movie? The thing is, I watch so many horror movies and comedies and stuff that are straight to DVD, so I don't know.
I can't think of any that I really like that came.
The thing is, you've probably seen a lot that you don't know.
That I don't know are. I don't know.
Yeah, so
it's hard to say.
I don't know. That's a tough one. What's your favorite horror film? P.S. I suck at spelling.
My favorite horror film?
Yeah. I really think Return of the Living Dead. Return of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead.
Return of the Living Dead and Day of the Dead, those are my two favorite zombie films. But my favorite horror film...
Session 9's really good. There's so many, though.
Gosh.
I'm sure we're going to get a lot more horror ones, so we'll just leave it at that for now.
I don't know.
And this is from MI11HOUS3. Do you prefer fast food or more formal restaurants?
Definitely.
I don't like fast food.
Fast food is. I don't even know why they even allow them to exist when they're like so nuts about being healthy and stuff, and they allow people to eat that crap all the time.
when they say fast food, like the only ones that are all right, Arby's is okay.
Yeah.
Burger King, all that. If you eat that, let's be serious, you're gonna be sick from that.
I know.
And
they say Wendy's isn't really. It's like fast food, but it's more healthy kind of.
Subway's the best one. The problem is something about those subs. You know what I'm talking about? They feel like you're just eating a bunch of bread.
To be honest, here's one thing I'd like to clear up. Someone once told me that they said, talking about like in different states having good pizza places. Don't say just.
Yeah.
Someone said like. They mentioned, well, we don't have like one like Pizza Hut. Like that's I'm like, that's not a fast food place. And they're like, yeah, it is. Like what? And they said,
the thing is, it takes forever, so that's not a fast food.
No,
if it takes more than like 5 minutes.
The thing is, like fast food, a lot of fast food has that fake crap in it, and if it's real, like Pizza Hut, it actually genuinely make the good pizza. Plus, here's a good clue. It actually looks more. It actually has more of a formal restaurant setting. Plus, Pizza Hut never really gave away toys. The only time they did was when the Casper movie came out, and I still have those. But other than that, and here's pretty much the main thing that makes it fast food. If you order it at the counter and can take it out, then it's fast food.
Yeah.
With Pizza Hut, I know that they do that. They give it an option.
But everywhere does it. You can go to like the fanciest restaurant ever and say, "I want this to go," and they'd be like,
Here's the true way. At a fast food place, do you wait at the table and they bring you your food?
No.
No, that's what you get. They do that at Pizza Hut. They don't do that at fast food.
I don't think we elaborate on these questions this long when there's 220. So
I'm sorry. This is just one. This drove me crazy for a while. So
but the thing is, I prefer restaurants like good restaurants. Outback Steakhouse is good.
Outback Steakhouse.
Chili's. Chili's is okay.
That's not really a restaurant.
We've had some problems there.
That's more like a bar with food.
Don Pablo's is really good.
I'm not big on it, but it is good.
That really
steak one. Bob Evans is good.
Bob Evans, we haven't had problems with. Denny's is alright, but one of my favorite ones is the Waffle House.
I knew it. Yeah.
I know it's weird, but it's the best one.
It really is. It's a great place for breakfast. It's a great place for anything.
And this is what's your favorite TV show that's on air now? I guess it's a current new show. I'd say Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Me too. That's like the only one I watch. I've fallen behind on this.
I watch Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
I don't like Food Network. There's the CBS shows, except I've fallen back on those because I'm like working Monday nights, so I can't watch those anymore.
Killer Vacuum. How do you afford all those DVDs? A job.
Well, we have money, a job.
Crate Digger 89. For both of you. Who are some of your favorite directors? Which movies of theirs are your favorites and why?
Definitely Tim Burton is one.
Tim Burton.
Steven Spielberg.
John Waters. I like John Waters.
John Waters is pretty good. No, there was another one I had in mind. I knew.
John McBride.
John McBride, yeah. No, there was one. Crap, I can't even remember. John Landis.
John Landis.
Chris Columbus.
And I really love Adam Rifkin stuff, and I got to work with Adam.
Oh yeah, Adam Rifkin. We loved his stuff.
The old horror movies.
We've loved his stuff before we even knew him. So.
Which movies are your favorites? For Adam Rifkin's Detroit Rock City was my favorite one, and then
with Tim Burton, that's not fair. Tim Burton's done way too many good films for me to pick a favorite.
John Waters is Pecker. I think I like the best.
Oh, Ivan Reitman.
Ivan Reitman.
He's a great one. Of course, Ghostbusters.
And that other one that he did was kind of like a Ghostbusters other one, that Evolution. I always thought that was just okay. You know what I mean?
It was all right. They said it was supposed to be like Ghostbusters 3, but...
And Cisco 182 says, what do you think is the worst movie of all time?
Lately, that's not easy to say.
That Prom Night remake was really bad.
Yeah, that could be on there. Some people say, like, they made a little thing riffing. They said, bringing back riffs and stuff for the worst movie ever made. They talked about Ed Wood's Plan 9 from Outer Space. Thing is, if you've seen some crap that comes out, even though it probably wasn't really very well made, it wasn't really. I don't think it was really the worst movie ever. I mean,
which one again?
Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Look at this thing on my. I was like, what is that?
Oh, I mean, I know it wasn't well made. And
we met the director who's doing the remake one too. Remember?
Yeah. I think though, I mean, and some of you are going to be like, "What? Is he serious?" Seriously, I mean, I know you've had to have seen something.
It's not the worst. There's worse than that.
Yeah, there's like.
At least with Ed Wood knew what he was trying to do with it. You know.
At least his stuff, some of his stuff is entertaining.
I mean, he wasn't the greatest director, but I mean,
I know some of it's cheesy, but
at least he was doing what he liked. You know what I mean? Like he knew what
he
he
liked
wanted
it,
to do.
and everything about it was positive. Did we see the World of Wild Things Are?
This is from a guy.
Some dude. No, wait. Let's read the guy's thing. Strong. Oh.
I don't like when people have inappropriate type names.
Okay, yeah, it has a very inappropriate name. We're not going to say it. But yes, did we see Where the Wild Things Are? Yes. And I'm thankful I saw it, and I don't think I'm ever going to be able to forget about it.
And this is from Minnie Betty.
Wait, did you just skip that other one?
It was about the same thing, about,
Oh, yeah.
your sheds or whatever.
Yeah.
Minnie Betty. One. Hey, I was wondering, what do you think of Rob Zombie as a director, and how do you feel about Zack Snyder's films? Some people say how much they hated 1,000 Corpses and Devil's Rejects. The thing is, I love Sid Haig in those. You know what I mean?
He's cool.
He was the best thing in those movies. Captain Spaulding.
Right. Honestly, personally, I mean, I they were good, but I didn't really like them. See, that's, you can only be a true film person if you can admit that something's good, even if you don't like it. And those were both really good films, but I do not like them, and I don't think I'd watch them again.
And Halloween 1 and 2, the remakes, I mean, a lot of people had a problem with the second one. I didn't really have a problem with it.
I didn't really like it, but I didn't have a problem with it.
And Zack Snyder did 300. I wasn't a huge fan of 300, but I respected it was a good movie.
Yeah.
This is Geeky
Go.
What is your reaction to Pee-wee coming back?
Probably,
I was happy that he came back.
Like the second coming of Jesus or something.
I was really happy about it. I know some people making jokes about it and stuff, but
those are people who don't truly know Pee-wee.
I think in many ways we might be some of the truest Pee-wee fans, because especially me, I learned to talk watching that show. You know what I mean?
And I grew up some mornings before I went to kindergarten or anything, even back then. I'd be that little TV that was in my mom's room. I'd run in there and Pee-wee's Playhouse would be on, and I would always watch it. And my mom didn't like it because she's like, ugh, she always acted weird. She's like, he's so weird, but I always ignored her, and I'm like, no, it's a good show.
And this is from Cam Mech D123. What's your favorite snack to eat / drink while watching movies?
Well, for one thing, get it out of your head. Everyone's like, well, I love eating popcorn.
I don't
no
like
popcorn.
Especially when you work at a theater, you really get sick of it.
Even before theater, I'm not even going to say the bad word, but I effing hate popcorn.
And it gets stuck in your teeth, and then
it gets stuck in your teeth. The back of your it gets stuck in the back of my throat. It makes me. I'm like trying to cough it up. I hate it.
And I hate when people at the movies are like, more butter, more butter, more butter. I want to drown the butter.
There was this woman in there. It was nuts. Like, more butter. I want 6 other things of butter. More butter. And if she's watching, you're a nutcase. At night. I was ready to say no. You can't say no to the customer, but if she's watching, lady, you're a lunatic.
I know, but the thing is, when we watch movies, if we see a movie at theaters, we usually sneak in sandwiches, or some kind of chips. But at home, I don't usually eat much.
I love
maybe
pretzels.
Dinner.
Yeah.
This may sound weird, and tell me if you agree. Are there certain times you don't want to eat with certain films? You know what I'm talking about? If you're watching a certain type of film, you're like, I do not want to eat my meal with this.
Sometimes I like eating bowls of ice cream. Sometimes I just like having a drink.
I know, but there's certain ones. Let me just make sure I'm not going out of frame when I'm doing that. No, I'm not.
Yeah, we're cool.
Yeah. This one says Paradox Productions 1. Do you guys recommend going to film school, or is it a waste of time? And what are some of your experiences in film school?
It's a good question.
The thing is,
honestly, if you already know what you're doing, don't waste your time. I learned that the hard way. Before I even was in college, I knew what I was doing, and it was a total waste of time. If you don't know anything about it, if you want to learn about it, then go. And we're gonna.
The thing is with film school, it can be a help, and it can see with us, we were in film school, and at first we thought we just wanted to do makings of films, and we thought we would do act our own things, but over the last 2 years, at least per year, acting has become our number one thing.
Yeah, well, it's more for you. I always knew I was going to act.
But for acting, I don't think you need to go to film school. You know what I mean?
Not to film school. If you want to write stuff and direct them, then yeah.
But film school is good, I think, because it will teach people about all the aspects. Because some people won't know about lighting and filters.
Now, him and I know you've told me, there was one film school he went to that I didn't, and there was one that I, we've had some experiences where, see, if it's someone who doesn't know anything about it, the people who think they know what they're doing, or they try to take control and make it a helpful experience, will turn you off to it. See, it's a good thing we already knew what we were doing before anybody else did, otherwise I would have given up. Because I've had some terrible experiences doing it. And you will have some. If you're dying to know about it, see through to those terrible experiences and just keep going, and eventually you'll make it.
The one thing about knowing about film, if you're on a film set, acting in something, sometimes it can be a little weird when you know something's being done incorrect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you knew right away. You said these guys were giving you a hard time. You're like...
One thing we did that was in Maryland. there was this film with this guy. I'm not going to name his name, but we had a weird experience with the guy. And, like, we were noticing all these things going wrong with it.
See, you knew. See, one thing, like, if you didn't know what was going on, you're like, oh, what's he doing? I don't know. And he tried to, like, talk down to you.
We're not talking about in Ocean City. We're not talking about,
Oh, no.
We're talking about within, like, 5 minutes of where we live.
Yeah, that.
So don't worry, if you see this. We're not talking about you. We had a good time with you.
Yeah, if he knows who he is. But,
yeah.
Yeah, but it's like I said, it's a good thing that we knew. So you knew right away he's not doing this right. Why is he wasting his time with this? He shouldn't.
I don't want to tell someone not to go. I think if that's what you want to do and you don't know a whole lot about it, you need a whole lot to learn, it's good.
Like, study it. And
the thing is, though, you may be in there with some students that are kind of snobbish and, like, real full of themselves, which happens sometimes, you know what I mean? That are
like I said, keep your guard up, stick to what you're doing. Like, don't get too attached to people, because if you get too attached to someone in a group, I never did that. I never made that mistake, because I always knew what I was doing, but I knew a few people who got attached to people who turned out they thought they knew what they were doing, and they screwed them over, and they felt crushed. I said, you don't need them. They're not going to help you out. It's really tough. Like, you'll run into, like, people who think they're know-it-alls, and you'll run into, like...
I'm sure some people might say that we're know-it-alls.
No. See, there's a difference.
We're not know-it-alls. We're just saying from our own experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we have experience, and all we know is from what we've done. We don't know.
So
we don't know
like
everything.
Pulling out of our ass. You know?
No, I mean nobody knows everything.
No,
we don't know everything.
No. This is from
Gibbering John.
I've been watching, but maybe missed it. When will Banshee be on Triller TV? Well, Banshee's going to be on the 30th of October 30th and October 31st, and I think it's like 10. We're going to do a video when we a few days before, letting everyone know. And they says also, when are you guys going to film another movie? I think some people think we film these movies. We actually don't film. We just act in them.
Yeah.
And
we're
this summer,
just asked to do them.
This summer we did a bunch, and there's a lot of stuff in the works. There's like dozens of things that's in the works. It's all about like when it happens and everything. Yeah. This is Geladon America. Geladon America. Shawn, have you ever seen Noses Off starring John Ritter, Christopher Reeves, and Michael Caine?
Three great people.
Have you? I haven't.
No.
This is from Loans Wow. What do you eat when you watch movies? We talked about that.
I already answered that.
Paradox Productions. What do you feel is
Paradox Productions 1.
Paradox Productions 1. What do you feel is the direction film is heading? Are you afraid that Hollywood is going to start remaking films made only a year or so earlier? I think right now
I thought of that a few times, actually.
I mean, they did that already with The Hawk. The Hawk was,
that actually wasn't a remake. If you pay attention, in a way, it was like an unofficial sequel. Because, see, the first one, which honestly, the first one is better. The first one showed how he became the Hawk. The second, what?
Nothing. Next question is funny.
Oh yeah. The second one was like after he'd already become that, and it's him like living as the Hulk. So it's not really a remake.
It's technically a sequel, but they didn't want to say it.
Yeah, it's a sequel. It's more. I think the real reason they did it was to see what they want to do is each film, like they already knew it when they did Iron Man, was to have it lead up to the Avengers movie. Like they want to have each like Marvel hero. See, I'm wondering suspecting they might do Spider-Man 4 just to have that also lead into the Avengers movie.
Maybe.
That's the only reason they really did it.
And I think they're gonna. I mean, with independent films, you see a lot of interesting films come out. There's a lot of things nowadays that are just remakes and remakes. I think it's going to be, at least for most films, like a 10 to 15 year gap at least. You know, I mean, it won't be like 1 year. Although they are remaking things that are like foreign films really quick. Like Let the Right One In is already getting remade. And this is from
Kieran Solo.
Shawn, if MJ told you that he was a homosexual, what would your reaction be? I would be.
You'd be shocked, wouldn't you?
See, some people might be like, oh, the thing is, I have no problem with people.
Right.
If anyone's, I think,
well, see,
that's
they mean
not
me
just
specifically.
But
He
if you
knows how
I'd be
much
like,
I love girls. I mean,
if you were, I wouldn't care.
In general, I mean the female gender. I'm not talking about girls. I mean, the female gender. He knows how straight I am. So what they think the person means is me specifically, but in general, he's right. There's nothing wrong with gay people. We support gays.
Yeah, but then some people I know have problems with that. I don't.
I hate how people are so homophobic. Like, gay, get away from that. You know what? Screw you.
This is from MWCCMW007. What's your favorite kind of music, and who are some of your favorite musicians?
Good question.
I like a lot of synth music, like Tangerine Dream kind of synth.
That's one of my favorite bands, Tangerine Dream. Some people say new age. It's not really new age. It's more, like slight techno-ish. Well, not really techno, on the verge, because they use actual cool instruments. They use instruments in a way that nobody would think to use them in. Mostly, actually, old rock, some newer hard rock, depending if it's good or not. Techno music. I actually like old video game tracks.
Yeah.
A lot of symphony and
I don't have favorite bands anymore. It's almost like I just listen to all kinds of weird stuff.
with me, it's not really a band. It's
And
more
I don't
like just
listen to anything new, really.
it's like certain songs from a band. Like I love Genesis. They're definitely a band that I love. Beatles.
I can feel it calling from the end
That's
of
not-
my anus.
That's not Genesis. That was the guy who sounds like Phil Collins.
Who is that?
I think George something.
Does he sound like him? Is
He does.
He's
He
like
sounds
he's
similar.
like a Phil Collins knockoff.
I thought that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people are probably gonna. Someone's gonna go. He did stuff before Phil Collins. What are you talking about? Well, excuse me. I have a feeling that might be coming.
This is from James the Ass. I know you guys are fans of the Kaufman brothers. What do you think of the upcoming Mother's Day remake? I mean, I'd be interested in seeing it. I don't know. I think he means Lloyd Kaufman and his brother.
No, I know.
And
Great guys.
we're actually good friends with Lloyd Kaufman.
I don't think I've seen anything for that yet, actually.
Flaming Stick. What's your opinion on the Child's Play series, and what are your thoughts about the 2010 Child's Play remake?
It's coming out 2010. Wow.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm interested to see it because, I love Chucky, and I'm just interested to see what they'll do with it.
I think it's kind of funny, though. They're remaking it, and Brad Dourif's doing the voice again, so it's almost like, I guess they're just admitting he's the only person who can do Chucky's voice.
I know, which is weird because there's only one other person I think who could be good for it, and that's Crispin Glover. I think he could do the voice in a cool way.
Well,
he can even play Charles Lee Ray in a cool way.
What's funny, though, is, like, if they would let him do the voice again, and I'm sure in the beginning, like when he's getting shot, they're probably going to have Brad Dourif do it.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they have just used Robert Englund again in the new Freddy?
I know, that's weird.
I mean,
Honestly,
the new guy who's doing it is great.
He looks cool.
He's a good actor and everything, but I feel like when you think Freddy, you think Robert Englund. You know what I mean?
No, I know. And
don't
honestly,
know.
I saw, in case you're probably already asking, I saw the new Friday the 13th, what am I saying? Nightmare on Elm Street trailer.
Everyone always does
looks,
that, mixes that two up.
I know, that's not what I meant to say. I think it looks awesome. Honestly, I think Freddy actually looks scary, because I think originally Freddy's supposed to be like this jokish, scary guy, like I'm Freddy Krueger, but he actually looks scary now.
It says, I know MJ likes Chucky a lot, so MJ, what is your favorite quote from a Chucky movie?
That's a good question. Well, I know a good one from Bride of Chucky. What is this crap? The music scene's really gone to hell since I've been dead. Sometimes when I listen to the radio, like when I used to listen to radio, like in the past year or so, if I was riding with someone in a car, I'd say that. Because it's, you know what I mean? It's like, because there's some music that's not good anymore.
Every time I think of Bride of Chucky, I think of being in camp. Like, I remember when the soundtrack came out, I was always listening to it when I was in camp. There was always, like, the loner in camp, like, sitting in the bleachers listening to it like this.
Yeah, when I had it, I had these really real depressing times. I'd go with my dad on these weird trips places. I mean, these places that are out in the middle of nowhere, and I'd listen to it, and it'd be the only CD I'd have.
Now, let me ask you this, though.
What?
Did you ever have problems in, like, school? And this is a weird thing to admit, but you know, like, people always playing sports and stuff?
All right.
Did you ever, like, sit on the bleachers and not participate?
Yeah, I was in, like, a weight training class, and I skipped all the time.
Yeah, like, weren't you, like, never, like, involved with those kind of things?
And I had no interest, and
I know.
In 10th grade, I was in a weight training class.
I remember you always ditching. I used to always walk around, you in the hallway, like, walking around.
No, I know, and even sometimes, like, what I do is I'd get in the gym uniform, and then like, I wouldn't go. I'd just sit and, like, I think eventually, the 9th grade girls who were playing, softball asked me to join them. Like, so I'd play softball, like, I'd play sports with the 9th grade girls because it was more fun than lifting weights with those dudes.
Weightlifting, I don't like weightlifting.
To me, it's kind of pointless.
I know.
To me.
I guess if you're going to be like an Arnold Schwarzenegger, you need to do it, but I mean...
Well, I can already lift, like, 400 pounds, so, I mean, I don't know why I have to.
This is from ORE Marker 0. Hey, guys, I love your videos. Have you heard you guys say Godzilla is cool? My question is, have you seen or own any of the 27 films?
29.
29 films. I know I've seen a bunch of them, but I don't think I own any of them.
I think I only own like one or two of them. See, I love giant monster films, and Godzilla is actually he's one of my he's not one of my top favorites, but he is cool. He is one of the best ones, but I honestly don't have as many as you would think for someone who loves giant monster films. Those are some of my favorite kinds of films, actually. Like Cloverfield is honestly one of my favorite movies.
This is from John 3HB.
Joe 3HB.
Joe 3HB. Have you seen the film Requiem for a Dream? I have seen that. You saw it too.
You showed me
it's
parts
really depressing.
of it. It is, yeah.
This is from X Mac Dollar Bill X. Hello, sirs. I was wondering if either of you have seen the Canadian TV series Trailer Park Boys. It's extremely popular in Canada, and I never heard you talk much about it. I've seen it once or twice. Like I think I saw like a mid episode or something, and I didn't really know what was going on too much.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it.
If in the future you were to make a Down to Earth movie full length, what would it be rated?
I have a feeling we'd film it as an R movie, but it'd be cut down to PG-13.
Like,
We'd sell like an R DVD probably.
Like I know I know one person that wants to do one, and I do want to do one.
No, there will be one.
Believe me, we will do one. I don't know, like I feel like I don't want to have to worry about the rating, so I feel like it would just be whatever it turns out to be.
Yeah, if it turns out it's not as dirty as we thought it would be, like we just do it for whatever it is, and if it turns out that it's naturally just PG-13, then that's what it is.
I know. This guy removed his comment. I guess he didn't like what he said. Sin B Sin 666. A movie based on the popular video game Tekken is coming out soon. What are your expectations for it if you have ever played the video game?
I can't answer that question because I've never played Tekken before. Sorry.
I never have either.